Hey everyone, this is May 7th, 2025, and this is the Effect Community Call. And here's JSC with the latest updates.
Thanks, DJ. Yeah, welcome everyone. Good to see some familiar faces again here in the call. We're excited to give some updates today again. Yeah, it's an exciting time now for the product as we've made some big steps to the initial release. And know we really wanted to have our testing group already active before this call. This was our goal, but we ran into enough little issues and deployment things that I will cover right now. That the external testing group is not yet currently working on the platform. We do have a demo that Miguel will show in a little bit, and also some details and dates on when the testing is going to really start with community members in the first group. So those are exciting things that we can share with you now already. Jeffrey isn't here on the call today. He's been the one responsible and the lead for the product so far. But I will try to fill in and give a few updates on what's been done since our last community call. In his stead, as well as Miguel, who will show you some of the UI and workflow for the product. So main updates is that we've done a lot of testing and basically polishing for features that were required. We've deployed now the product not only to the Solana DevNet, but also to the mainnet already. So it is in a state where we can really use it. The UI has had a lot of updates, mainly from Jeffrey as well, that worked on a lot of the flow and the UX on the worker side, but also on the other applications that are necessary. For example, the UI where you can create and post tasks to the network has had a lot of updates, as well as the sort of overview, like the admin overview, where requesters can see, or task providers, they're called now, can see what the performance is of certain workers. Also, we've implemented the registration code system, so people can actually get registration codes that we will share with them later, which we're going to dive into in a little bit. But that system has been implemented as well with the user interfaces. We've implemented the basics of some performance metrics as well, that you will see in a little bit. So yeah, overall, I think everything has sort of come together, and these are, like, for us, like, the team has been really like excited and on top of this, as when everything comes together are the most fun times. And yeah, we're nearly there. Yeah, I think what would be most fun for this call is to first show you some visuals and go through the platform. Joe can then go into a little bit more details on the alpha testers and how that's gonna unfold soon. And then we can go after near the end of the call into like some other updates, like when it comes to the coming weeks and what we're planning to release. And then there will be, I think, plenty of time for some questions. But let's take it from there. Miguel, if you're ready, feel free to share the screen and show some of the why.
Yeah, this should be good. Second. Everyone can hear me, right? Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, we hear you.
Yeah,
we hear you.
Hear you fine.
All right, perfect. The screen sharing properly?
Yes, looks good.
Yeah, though we echo in
All right,
your
so I think it's,
But
is it
August won't
on me
talk.
or is it just you? Oh, okay. All right, so I'll give a little demo of the platform of what the alpha testers are going to see and kind of what everyone else will see, more or less. I do have to say, note this is kind of a development environment still, so might be a few kinks and quirks here and there, but for the most part, this is kind of what you'll see. So in the beginning, what you'll do is you'll go into this little worker tab here, And there'll be either one or a list of manager nodes you can connect to. As we said before in the past, the manager nodes are kind of or the nodes that will dish out the tasks to the respective taskers under that node. So for now, I'll click on this node, and then as you'll see, there's an access code that's required to connect to the node, and we'll give the alpha testers the access codes, I think, in the coming days or what we were saying. But for now, I'll put in an access code here. Should connect. There we go. So this is more or less what you'll see. So we have at the top, and I think Jeffrey has given kind of overview a little bit of what we've seen here. But you have your node address as well as the manager node address that you're connected to, and you can see your online time. You can see the effective you've earned, the task completed, and your performance. So the performance is it's basically the tasks that you have completed or rejected, kind of a percentage on those two attributes there. And then you have obviously the fun part, the active tasks. So let's click on a task here. What should we do? Let's do a create a sentence. You can have you first preview the task. You see whether or not it's a task you want to do. You can either accept or reject the task up here in the top corner. So let's say I want to do this task. So I'll accept the task, read the instructions, and in this case, we just want to write a sentence. So this is a sentence. And then you want to submit the task. Task is submitted, and then you just want to keep going in and do some more tasks. We could do one more if you want. Except this one. So this one is check to see if the sentence is linguistically correct. So if you think it's linguistically correct, you can say yes. You can skip the task if, for whatever reason, the sentence you don't like, if you don't want to do this task, or you think maybe there's an error or something in the task, you can skip it, or yes or no. Let's submit this one as well. And as you go on, the performance will increase as well as the task completed. You can see kind of on the payment section how you've been paid. Again, this is in development, so it might be a little skew. But it'll tell you kind of, you've gotten paid out for being online for, I think now we have it set for every 10 minutes. This is subject to change or not. And then you can see the amounts that you've been paid, and that's about it. We're still working on a couple things, as you can see here, to explore your private key and your logs. But for the most part, this is what you'll see. Does anyone have any questions?
So when you're like put in the access code, that's you being like online.
Yeah. So once you put in the access code, that is you connecting to the manager node. If you put in the wrong access code or no access code, then you'll get an error saying that you can't connect, and you will not see this page. Like it'll stop you at the main page. But yeah, once you put in your correct access code, you'll connect to the manager node. You'll get to this page here that you see, and you can start doing tasks.
And what is the distinction of an access code? Like, are there going to be different ones, or does this one user use the same one forever?
There'll be different ones per user. Once you get an access code, I'm not sure if we're gonna have it. If you have to input it all the time, or if it'll remember your access code. But more or less, you'll have your access code that you're given will work for that manager node. And again, if there are any issues, we can always open up a support ticket, and we can get you like a new access code if there's any issues there. Which I suspect there'll be some bugs and kinks and quirks in the alpha version here.
I see.
And the
So,
access codes
oh,
are
go
only
ahead.
for like the alpha testing, once we actually like go live
Yeah.
and open it up, then that access code gating will be out of play. Yeah.
Yeah, you would just kind of you'd come into this page here, the manager node, and once you click continue, then there wouldn't be an access code.
Oh,
for
so
this,
it's
for this being
by the
for
manager node then.
Yes, yeah. So the manager node will send or will create access codes itself, and then we can distribute, or the manager node, whoever is in charge of the manager node, will distribute the access codes. But for the time being, it's just us running the manager node and then and creating the access codes for the one manager node. I suspect in the future too, if because we already do have this implementation, if there are other manager nodes that spin up that want to have access codes for maybe like their own tight knit community, maybe there's a manager node for, let's say, I don't know, like translation tasks, how we had it before, where you had like the people that would verify the languages, maybe they would have like a manager node, and then they can have their little subsidiary of people that they manage, and they would send out access codes to them, just so that you don't want people who speak Spanish going into a manager node that have people speaking like a different language, like Russian or something, right? So it's easy to differentiate the population of that the manager node.
Yeah, that would be very good. I remember a while back we passed the proposal to allow people to in non-effect. And I could definitely see, for example, other crypto communities like having a specific niche of tasks they need done, and they want to reward their own community members by, letting them work on it. And so if they can do that, then yeah, them running their own manager node makes sense since they can use their token. So I think that'll be pretty useful eventually.
Yeah, and
Think
we
of,
have it integrated already, so it's pretty easy to spin that up.
think of this for like the future. You know how Fiverr is, right? Where you post a job and like people message, that they'll do it or something, almost like a Upwork or it's a TaskRabbit or whatever.
Mhm.
Someone could use their own like website or posting, to detail like taking applications to do this one-off task or this like project and stuff. And then when they choose someone to do it, all they do is give them an access code and they post the job on our platform, and then the person does it, submits it in, and then they pay for it that way. So I mean, there's
Yeah,
there's all kinds of capability that we have already embedded in this going forward. You can box it up different ways. So there's just so much potential here.
yeah, I completely agree with that. There's a lot of different use cases that can be done with the technology that we've already implemented, and we're always implementing new stuff, so it's just the tip of the iceberg, as they like to say. Rochelle, would you like, or are there any other questions on the demo? Anyone from the audience? If not, we can have maybe Rochelle talk more about the alpha testers and how that's going to work. Some more
Or
info on that.
I see
My
Steve
Trivali, I
typing
think,
real
is
quick.
typing.
Let's see if he's got a question here first. Oh no, he stopped typing.
Okay, if I see
Oh,
a question, I'll maybe interrupt after.
okay. So, okay, here's the exciting part for me. That was a great demo, Miguel. Thank you so much. I hope you guys
Of course.
liked the sneak peek of the platform and seeing, how it works right now. Don't get too hung up on worrying about access codes, because our alpha testers, we will be here to support you guys 100% with this. Okay, so let's get to the nitty gritty of onboarding alpha testers. This is my jam. I've been so excited, and I've already done quite a bit of work with getting signups, going through the list and figuring out the different waves of alpha testers that will be onboarding. So here's the big question: when can we start? You guys will be starting this Tuesday, the 13th of May. I wish I had a soundboard to make some crazy effects like radio DJs do. I'm just that excited about this. So, there's a small group of you. I've already put you in a private channel for only Wave 1 alpha testers. You will see that you have already been awarded the Discord role of Alpha 1. So congratulations, you guys are in the first wave of this. 13th, it's not a lucky number. Alan, we're making the 13th a lucky number. It's not on a Friday, it's on a Tuesday. So Tuesdays are generally very calm, very lucky, very boring. So he's laughing. So some of you may have noticed, and you're looking right now at your Discord roles and seeing that you don't have the Alpha 1 role, but you know you already signed up before the deadline of that form closing and stuff. Do not worry. We will be onboarding you guys also gradually. So we're going to start out with this one small group. And then as the weeks go by, you know, and we're gauging the task load and how many people are active and things like that, and how much more tasks we get on, I'll be onboarding more of you alpha testers. So I already have segments already set aside of who's gonna get onboarded in wave 2. So don't worry, you know me, I'm here for you guys. So please have some patience. We will be onboarding you soon. So yeah, I already covered. We have that Discord channel for you guys. We're gonna have some calls. I plan on doing a lot of calls. Miguel will be joining in, various members of the team at times, for this alpha testing. We want to be very connected with you guys while we're doing these tests. We're gonna hope to get a lot of feedback from you guys and whatnot. So you're gonna really help us make this the best platform we can have. So I really appreciate you guys signing up, you know, and all of you long-term OGs around, you know, sticking with us this whole time. This is a very exciting time, and it's so fun to be doing it all again with you guys. And then there's going to be a new call series that Miguel and I are going to start doing. And it's going to be like worker calls, you know, like talking about the tasks and the logins and what you like and don't like about it. Tips and tricks to, you know, be more efficient online and time management and stuff, all that stuff. Other platforms don't do that. I think it's very important. A lot of the communication, not just between us and you guys, but also between you guys together. So those are going to be starting. And yeah, I'm excited. Do you guys have any questions about the onboarding? I know many of you in the audience already have the role. Congratulations. Sharif is typing. You're excited to start. I'm excited to start. This is the moment that I have been waiting for. So don't worry, you will have instructions on how to do things, lots of pictures, you know, all that stuff. We will be good. I can't wait to start working closely with you guys on this. It's gonna be a good time. And you're also gonna earn effect while you're doing this too. So that's a bonus. Okay, there's also something else that I have going on that we're planning on releasing. And this June, we're going to have Alpha Summer Camp. It's going to be exciting. There's going to be challenges. There's going to be prizes, all kinds of things. It's going to be a fun time. So that's going to start in June. More announcements and things about it as we go on, but it's gonna be a lot of fun. Jesse's quite excited. The rest of the team's quite excited. So yes, Alpha Summer Camp is coming. What a good thing to do during the summer, right? And
Like
let's
kids again.
see. Huh?
Like we're kids again. Go back to camp.
Yes, we're gonna go back to camp.
What does
We're gonna
that
have some fun with it.
entail?
Lots of fun. Lots of things with the platform. There's gonna be some prizes. There's gonna be some swag. I can't release too much yet. There's gonna be a lot of surprises. So
So basically, like
it's gonna be good.
fun
Maybe just a little
competitions with
teaser for that.
rewards and stuff like that.
Yes, yes. Alan is typing. Let's give him a moment here. No! That's it! I'm gonna mute you.
So would this so this with the people joining on the 13th, this is the alpha phase. Uh, Let me get the terminology right, and then what's coming afterwards? What would that be? Like on
Alpha is just our testing phase, you know, where we onboard people and it's not like quite open to the public yet. It's kind of like, you know, our what do they also call it, like beta versions, but we're calling it alpha.
and so then the beta is when anyone can join.
Is that Jesse?
Yeah, the alpha is just in the, like Rochelle said, like it's not ready for public usage. Also, not at this point, like in alpha, we're not going to run serious data sets on the platform. We have a few data sets that we're going to be rolling out during alpha, but not like any crucial client critical data sets, as the main goal is still technical, like technical stability and also the technical part of quality control, like making sure that the workers, the contributors, and the all the participants, that it's actually proper quality. That's still like we need to make sure, right? We need to get some measurements in. We need to know some data. So that's what we will do during alpha. Like we want to make sure that we get those numbers there. We know the quality is this metric, number of workers and speed of data sets is this. Like we need to get that going. Next to that, it's everything is technically good. What the phase after that is called, like, yeah, it's a bit arbitrary, I guess. But after alpha, we will be ready for running real data sets. Like we will be able to actually work with a few partners to create data sets for them in the AI space. And like, of course, it's still an early project, but like after alpha, we will be in a phase where people will use the product to do serious work and to get serious data out of it. I guess that's the main distinction. Alpha does, like, I think, give the ring to it, like it's not ready for to do a serious annotation there.
I see. So you're saying after the alpha is a phase where you're confident that serious data can be uh, go through the system, basically.
Yeah, we will be able to give a confidence, like some kind of confidence level there that is meaningful to clients. That right now we cannot, like, we need to make sure, like, internal testing means that we have maybe 3 or 4 people right now so far on the platform, and we already encountered so many issues that it took us longer than we wanted to release the platform. Now we're going to get a whole lot more people on the platform, the alpha testing group. We're kind of sure there's going to be issues and things that we need to cover before exposing this to more people, like before onboarding more clients and workers. So yeah, the alpha is that stage. Like after this, you could call it beta, or we can call it something else, like a project to different things. I think Solana is still in beta after all these years. Like the terminology is a bit silly. I do agree, but I do think alpha sort of captures the semantic, like where we currently are at. So we decided to name it that. How long we're there is indeed, it's mainly a stability thing and also a time thing. If we've been there for maybe a couple months and we can say we have this many workers on the platform, and this is sort of the, like, if there's no technical glitches that sort of make the thing not work, I think then we're at a point where we can go to a client and say to a Leon or something and just tell them, what kind of data we can make and how fast and with what kind of quality. At that point, we're out of alpha. We're gonna think of a cool name for that. Hopefully, a bit better than beta. But yeah, no, that I hope that makes sense, DJ.
Yeah, it did. Thank you.
Mojito. I think that would be good because by the time we get to that point, I will be having mojitos in celebration.
Hmm.
Okay, and now since I debuted the summer camp and we talked about what we're calling it, Jesse, can you tell us what you got? Everyone can be looking ahead for that we have coming up.
Yeah, that's a good moment to talk a bit about what's coming up, what's ahead. Like we're now in alpha. It's gonna be it's released, right? People are gonna be using this. It's exciting. Obviously, like I just said, the point where we want to go is to get clients running their data sets and running their AI applications through the network. So that's the main goal, right? We need to take that next step, be mature and get throughput on the platform. So that will be like that's already now our focus. A question in the chat, relevant by Ellen. Are you actively looking for partners? So we definitely are actively looking for partners. Like I said, in alpha, we don't want to run or expose any partners yet to like the either the worker side or the requester side, as we think the issues are it's not polished enough, and the issues that are there we need to solve. But we are actively talking to partners. We're having calls, and there's quite some interest. Like the space now is very lively when it comes to data, and yeah, there's different areas where we I think can dive into partnerships that we're already like exploring now. Most importantly, of course, is that we want to run data through the platform. So we want to get data into the hands of the workers through the network, get that annotated, and make sure that the throughput of effect through the network is going up. So that happens when there is like valuable data being created. So those are the partnerships we're actually focusing the most on. Yeah, I won't get too specific right now on that, but that is a priority for us, and we're actively doing that. And when we look at like releasing the rest of the product and what kind of features to expect there, we are working on the roadmap, like discussed it in the last call. And soon as alpha is out, the next thing we want to release is a roadmap that stipulates the things that will be released feature-wise and when it comes to the token and the protocol and the DAO and stuff, like we will create like a roadmap around that to make it more clear. We've also already in progress is like an updated white paper. It's a slightly different track, but it will describe the whole protocol, the purpose, the vision behind it. And also it has a few avenues there for partnerships that we're looking into. For example, as a human-focused, a human-centric network, one of the things important is the DID, so decentralized ID. That's something that we would like to incorporate by looking at the nice DID projects that are currently established and integrating those in the network so we can get higher confidence scores and better quality and better human verification. So that's one area that we're looking at. Also, as we're going to be processing actually already now in alpha, things are going pretty fast, but the amount of data going in and out of the network gets quite large. So have smart storage solutions and look if we can integrate with a few of the popular or more mature storage solutions on the Web3 side is something also we're looking into. But all of this we're going to like write down nicely as a protocol documentation, and in the white paper we're going to make sure that the code is all released open source and open for contributions. So that's all like on the technical protocol side, updates that we're working on and are going to share. then yeah, I think those were most important to share with you guys. And one of the main points we want to improve on, and it's been like an important one that we do not want to fail on or miss out on, is to make these community calls and the contributions of the DAO also a lot more structured and more transparent. So we'll do our best now to make these community calls like more frequent and well structured, and also pave out the way for DAO contributions and stuff. But yeah, those are like the three sort of levels of priority that we've got going on now. Now the alpha is there. And let's see. And asking about exchanges. Well, we are on one centralized exchange, but yeah, it's not a topic we're covering in this call. Yeah, I think those were the main updates and sort of soonish things that we're going to come out with. I think when it comes to community call, maybe Rochelle, you want to did you already have an idea for the next call or the frequency of calls that you wanted to share?
Community be in a few weeks on the 28th of May at this 5:30 CET time. But you guys can look to see, you know, there's going to be some more calls with us and the community in between, but they'll be like smaller and more targeted on specific subjects and things, you know, with like the alpha testing and the summer camp and things like that. But our our big community call and stuff right now, the next one is on the 28th of May, but I think we're gonna start having them as things heat up and things get going. Definitely monthly, maybe a little more frequently than monthly. We're just gonna gauge and see what's going on with that. And Burn has a question. He says, what's the expected time you guys need for the alpha phase in terms of weeks and months? And I think he's asking how long is alpha
So
testing?
timeline wise, yeah, like I just said, like it's sort of it's at least gonna last for a couple months, like at least 2. Let's say my expectations are it will last for around 3 months, but definitely not in a static way, but where like it will grow, become bigger with more data going through. We're also working, by the way, on like an explorer, so people can see the amount of data and throughput on the network. So these are things that will be visual and growing during the alpha phase, but I would expect it to last at least 3 months. And I think that's as accurate as we can get. It could last longer, depending on how things turn out and how like clients are going to experience early usage and testing of this platform. But that gives a rough indication.
Thank you. That was a good question and an answer. And I see Steve is typing. Every time I say that, it stops. Okay, great. Any you guys got any more questions?
So would you in the alpha would you also be implementing other features you talked about a while back, like for example, say encrypted data?
Yeah, these are things we would definitely like to implement. Encrypted data is a good example. We have actually a list, like in the white paper, there will be all the components that we will like require in the protocol, and encrypted data is definitely one that will indeed be implemented during alpha. So alpha is also for getting all the missing pieces right now into the protocol. Another one is like right now we have quite a sort of like static manager system, like you saw actually in Miguel's thing, that there's like you have to click a manager. That should definitely, that's going to move more to the background. Like users shouldn't be too aware of the managers that exist. Like DJ, already you mentioned this, but that's also something we had in mind where other projects can spin up managers. That will be there, but like it shouldn't be that like that's explicit for the workers, right? We want them to just be able to join. Effect is going to be more like on a technical level, more like it's a capability based network. So whatever you as a human are capable of should be able to sort of, you should be able with the gossip network be automatically matched to the right manager. So that kind of stuff will all be implemented also during the alpha period. Encrypted data is very important, and as well as like privacy and decentralized identity. Those are things we are definitely going to add during this phase. At the moment, data is like the storage layer that's currently in the network is quite good already. Like it stores, communicates data encrypted between the worker and the task provider, so that it's not like data is leaking in the network or being publicly shared, which is already a huge improvement over what we had before, for example, or what some other networks have. But we do want to improve on that as well, with more like robust storage solutions, and also, you know, the storage solutions that can handle larger data sets, say like gigabytes of data, and being able to download portions and stuff like that in an encrypted way. Those are things that we want to add to the network as well. If you guys have, if there's any questions, feel free to ask. I think these were the main updates we wanted to cover, as well as the announcement for the next community call. So we have a little bit of time now to cover questions. If you guys got more, you can either drop them in the chat or
So
raise
you
your hand.
mentioned the clients. Is that gonna be facilitated through a, say, a dev kit to like create your own tasks, or would it be like through you kind of creating or like just working of them, setting them up with a manager node, and then just like walking them through the process? Like how will the process look like, you think?
For posting tasks, right? You said like on the requester side,
Yeah.
the process. Yeah, there's several ways that this can work. We have like a very basic interface where someone can post a task. So you basically provide a template, and a bit like how it used to work before. That will be there. Like that sort of gives you basic access. We do foresee the future to be a bit more programmatic. So I think the UI, or like the UX sort of entry point for clients would be more programmatic. That's what we're looking at. So like integrating with agent orchestration frameworks, and integrating on a code level, like for example, integrating smoothly with like tool calling, or like that MCP that I think you mentioned, DJ, a few calls back. Like integration on the programmatic level is something we foresee as more important. So that will probably be where we're going to focus on more. I think, but yeah, the ways to post stats will either be through the UI or through the programmatic road. Those two will be implemented during the alpha, or they're sort of there, but they obviously they need to get a nice jacket and documentation and more polishing, which is what we're doing during the alpha.
Yeah, I was gonna say we already have some documentation written up for it, but we'll be adding more documentation as we go and as we see fit.
Yeah, you should be able to expect it to work out pretty quick. I mean, these days you can just, copy and paste the documentation into LM coder, and it already knows how to do everything. So, uh, people will quickly be able to build their own workflows for the tasks they need to be complete. They need to complete.
That's definitely a good point.
And AI is pretty good at creating these the templates and also the instructions for tasks. Like we've been doing that more and more, but like the recent models, they're extremely good at creating these actually. So the integration there within agent orchestration frameworks is pretty cool, and I think like works out really nice because they're so capable at writing out the task in the right format that it just integrates well in these settings.
Do you think in the roadmap you're writing out, have you put any more thought in the rapid benchmarking? Lately, there's been another, I guess, quote scandal about something. Actually, I talked with you about how ChatGPT 4.0 was very psychophantic, as it's called. Like you could, you could like recommend the dumbest idea and it'll be like, "You are an absolute genius. That is a marvelous idea. Let me show you how you can do it." And even if it was like a horrible idea or bad for a person, they would endorse it. And it kind of got me thinking that this is a very subjective thing, right? Psychophancy, like what the person considers that is like a different person to person, right? Uh, Maybe some people really want that, and maybe some people really hate it. And so that only makes the rapid benchmarking even more important because like how can you make a slider for that sort of thing? Like how can you set, encouragement mode to like level 6 or something instead of like level 9 or level 1? So like I figure like that's something that will be very helpful with kind of deducing which prompts have which effects, and if you can quantifiably measure like how encouraging an AI is versus how critical it is, all these things make me think that Effect AI has a very long-term future just with this subjective idea of how do we help people tune, the LLMs to be exactly as they want with the right prompts. So, do you think some of that will be in the white paper?
Yeah, that's this is one of the I think the most interesting and useful sort of like concrete cases that indeed that we could solve, that we add value. And um yeah, why shouldn't it be in the white paper? Like it's a really good like implement, like something you can achieve with the network. So it's like a great example of something very important that we can solve. So in that sense, I think it makes for a really good example of how to do it. I think to execute it, I've been looking into it more and more, especially like we've chatted about it, DJ, quite a bit now, and I like this. It's an idea I think is extremely important, and has like I think the network we have is very like it can be used extremely well for solving that. It's just that to do it, like we need like hopefully we can find like a way someone to start building that product out and integrating effect as the primary part. Um, I'm not I'm not sure if that should be coming from us or maybe as like maybe perhaps a project grant we can give to steer someone in that direction and build something in that direction. I haven't really figured it out, but yeah, the topic itself is extremely interesting and relevant. I've been thinking more and more about what it would entail to build something out. Like your blog post that you published was actually pretty in depth on what that would look like to implement. Yeah, so it will definitely come up more, and I'm totally open as well to discuss like an implementation and what that would entail. I do think it's a bit more complicated than I first imagined it to be, to actually like build out a quick benchmark thing. Although to have some closer investigation, there's a solution out there that we can build and roll out. Anyway, it's a great topic I like to think and talk about, but I'm not sure yet how it would materialize on the roadmap, like as it's sort of an implementation, like
Right,
an
right.
application on top of the network.
So we gotta just make sure it's a possible implementation. So then it can be built out without, anything extra needing to be created. Because yeah, I think it's like an alignment question, really. Like because it allows people to choose how they want their LMs to be aligned, like not just how it is out of the box, but how it is, with you.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. It's like an alignment question, and it's one that closely integrates compute, which is something we've that will make it on the roadmap as well. But yeah, like closely integrating compute and AI agents sort of within the network or very close to the network is something that's also something that we will talk more about, but that is for this use case very relevant, as it very closely ties into the LLM compute and the human input.
All right, sounds good. So then, as you said, the alpha people will be joining on the 13th, and then through these months, as you fix any issues that arise from their testing, you'll be working on this roadmap and white paper, um, and I guess publishing it when it's time to launch the platform.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So those things are in progress now, and we've talked about the roadmap before. So roadmap is something that the team really wants to share soon as this alpha is ready, as it will give everyone like a sense of direction and timing what's coming out, as we keep repeating it in the calls and trying to be accurate about it, but we absolutely see the value of writing it down and making sure that everyone like it's written down and better thought out. So roadmap is sort of the first thing we would like to share with you guys as an indication of the things that are coming up.
Sounds good. Are there any questions from the crowd or any more topics you wanted to discuss?
No, I think we don't have more topics from the side of the team here. Some questions in the crowd about price and price movement. Unfortunately, not something we can discuss right now here. But I have 5 minutes left, so if there's any more questions, then we can cover them quickly, or else we can close the call.
Yeah, aside from that, maybe that demo was pretty good. I guess once the alpha workers are doing stuff, it'll be good to post that in like the social media feeds to show that there's something there's something going on.
Yeah, and we'll be getting a lot of data from the alpha workers as well to kind of grow up the platform, and we'll definitely be posting from time to time like the data that we're getting and kind of how it's going, or maybe even like kind of what we're fixing or some like bugs and stuff we found are and how we're fixing them. So we'll have you guys along for the ride, not only just the alpha testers, but the community as well.
All right, then sounds great. And then I guess we're all looking forward to the next call on the 28th, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome. Great call, guys.
Yes, me too. Thanks, everyone.
To you
Thanks,
early
DJ, for
alpha
hosting.
testers, I will be in touch.
Thanks.
So rest up. Have a restful weekend because Tuesday it's on.
All right, then. Till next time. Bye, everyone.
See
Till
you
next
guys.
time. Bye bye.
Ciao. Bye.